Welcome back, ladies and gents. Another Monday has come around. No Prem football this weekend, so it's a waffle segment. I feel like that's our strength, though.
That's definitely up my alley.
We're playing into.
Unfortunately, still missing that one.
I know. I thought by going earlier we'd fit everyone's lifestyle, but not next.
It's just that corporate lifestyle, you know. We're just not corporate like that.
I don't
He's
know.
moved on to bigger things, man.
I'm about to say I don't know that pull. I don't know that attraction to the big four.
You didn't put he got that Saudi offer.
Yeah.
You're like
We're
you're like a low Prem club, you know.
We're Syria
Because like this is like you know more aura, but
it's not the money though.
The
money's in the game anymore.
The money's not there.
Next, I promise.
But he might come back.
Yeah,
he'll do a couple of years in Saudi.
Yeah, and come back to his true home. But no touch this week. But yeah, as it is Nations League or qualifiers, whatever this weekend. So not really
whichever one it is.
I'm just looking at qualifiers and seeing some results. I'm looking at Nations League, seeing other results. But we'll cover that with Nathan on Thursday when I get a chance to actually look at it. We're gonna do some top 10 left backs, breakout team of this year, team of the season, team of the year, I guess you can say. Next, general chat, I guess, after our first list about, I guess, where Tottenham are, where United are, Spurs, Brighton, all of those teams there, because it's going to shape up as a good end of the season in terms of European race.
So you said where Tottenham and United are in terms of the European race. That's just like a bit of an oxymoron.
Tottenham and United,
in terms of the relegation battle. And then we got
then Brighton, Fulham, European race. let me separate those two sentences into. I missed my full stop in my speech. But yeah, it's definitely something to talk about that, especially with Ange and the like. Considering one of the Aussie boys, we'll have to see how he goes, but that might be coming to an end. Let's start with our list first. I think let's go left back list first.
Pumping it out early, and
then I can get into the generalised chart after that. Left back's interesting. You know the whole. With you guys playing 4 left back sometimes, City don't play out and out left back, as you can say. So it's a different list. I'm sure. I think I've got 3 or 4 players I didn't have last year on this list.
There's borderline. There's like 5 Arsenal players in contention for this list. Genuinely, there's 5. Timber has sort of like cemented himself as like a right back now.
Yeah, but
when he came to the club, he was playing left back.
Yep, Calafiori.
We've got Calafiori, obviously, who we signed. Miles Skelly has come out of nowhere. Hayland prospect, another one.
He'll be up there in this league.
Yep. And then, unfortunately, Kieran Tierney and Zinchenko, I don't think are really...
Zinchenko 2 years ago.
Zinchenko. I mean, Tierney like 3 years ago. Yeah. Zinchenko 2 years ago. Even 1 year ago would have been on my list a year ago for sure.
Yeah, I think in and around it feels like.
But yeah, there's a couple. I got a couple of Arsenal players in mind, so we'll have a look where they rank.
It's gonna be interesting. Order's hard because I feel like there's, for me, the top 2 are the top 2, but the rest are sort of just a big clump. So order will be interesting. I'll get kicked off. Went 10 Estupinian. He's just holding on. I feel like this guy every year he's getting lower and lower and lower. I reckon when we started this, if we did that list, we would have had him all probably top 5.
He had major FPL tax for me a couple of years ago. Like I think it was when Lamptey was out of the squad.
And he just played.
And Purvis was coming in. And he was just in the box, like half the game.
Goal contributions was nuts.
Yeah, so he was an eye catcher, stuff like that. But yeah, he didn't make my list. He's just fraud watch. I
feel like his first 10 games every year is nuts. Like he gives me a false hope and then just disappears.
I think like the major tell is that he just keeps getting dropped.
Yeah, like hands out your face.
There's been a couple managers under Potter and
De Zerbi.
Yeah, De Zerbi.
Yeah.
And now as well, like he keeps coming in and out of the squad. So I just think that, that is usually a pretty good sign of where these players sit.
Valid.
In my 10th place, I double checked, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I had Diogo Dalot.
Dalot in 10.
So I think it's probably a little bit harsh on Dalot, but this is probably more reflective of where like United are, and I still think he's probably best at right back.
Right back, yes.
But no, I think he puts in a shift at left back. And to be honest, I think when he plays for Portugal at left back, sometimes he's even better.
I'd imagine.
Like when he gets a little bit more license to...
actually play some football.
Yeah, to go forward and sort of show like his attacking output. I think he's better that way. But yeah. Well, he's a solid, he's his top 10 sort of contributor.
I'd say, I'm the same as you. I have him 9, just steady Eddie. Just has no left foot. Like if you're going to be a left back, you need a left foot. He doesn't have a left foot.
Yeah.
I think he's been good for us, but... Again, like when Dorgu comes in, you can tell the difference. We're a 10 times better team with the new kid at left back. Whereas Dalot, he's a right back, but having to fill in. So 9, but I think next year right back list might be a bit further up for him.
Lucas Digne.
See, I don't have him in.
Yeah.
I think Villa have fallen off a bit.
No, I would agree. And I think Digne, to be honest, is one of the ones who would have been higher for me in past years as well.
100%.
Purely just on like Nepentha's tax, Digne, like just like,
it's
just all like some sort of tax these guys have, like
that just name or
I mean, to be honest, I think I don't know if you wanted this list to be on like form, but like I thought there tends to always be like a bit of a weighting on like how form related and like career weighted and what a player they've been. And look, Digne's been like a solid Premier League player now for like sort of
a long time.
I don't know if it's like 6 years longer, maybe 8 years. He's been around. He was obviously at Everton and stuff.
Villa.
But I don't think he's had his best season ever. But I think he's still like that caliber of player.
Yeah. I think it's just Villa in general. They've had a bit of a stinker. Like I had him in, but he kept dropping and ended up dropping out. He's definitely a new player on the list. I got Miles Lewis-Kelly, MLS at 8. Again, I had him at 6 at the start, but I'm like, I can't put a guy in that's played like 15 games in that high. Next year, I reckon he could be top 2, top 3.
Yeah.
Like I think he's nuts, and it takes a lot for me to convince. But these young players, that breakout players, so you're like, oh, can they do it? But it feels like he's done it for England now. He's doing it for Arsenal, and he's on form or on like merit. He's probably a light left back. I think Calafiori gets dropped. Like that's the stage we're getting to now. Calafiori was the guy out of the Euros, the long hair, the Italian is like, perfect.
Mate,
left
long
back.
hair tax. That's another one. Good looking
headband.
Like, one of them.
Had the aesthetic of the Italian style at the back. Doesn't learn anything. But then
he was supposed to be Maldini.
And then in comes Mr. Stay Humble himself. And that's the thing. He wasn't playing, but he made impact from early days. He was coming out there chatting to Haaland. I'm loving that.
He was getting like yellow cards like on the bench. I love that.
Yeah, remember he hadn't played. He had a yellow card.
Yeah, it was so good.
That's the shit ours with Arsenal need to go over the line.
Yeah.
So I'm here for it. I think that England game was fantastic. So 8.
He scored.
He's a climber. Yeah.
I didn't actually see his goal. Was it good?
I watched highlights of it, but I liked it. It was good.
What was the goal?
It was came on. Right, he was right foot to finish.
Yeah, right. He's.
But I think he's actually pretty good both feet.
Well, he did that against City. That was his City goal. Was when he drove, cut back in,
and it was
and then put it bottom right on his right foot. And
he's pretty capable both feet. One.
Yeah, no, he's a gun. He's a bit higher, a little bit higher on my list. But I'll touch on him further. I have Lewis Hall at 8.
Yeah.
I think he sort of had he sort of kicked on this year a little bit as well.
He played,
Yeah. Like he had quite a lot of expectation about the player he's going to be. And I think he could be higher on this list, but yeah, I feel like
I think we just rotated Hall and Skelly around. I feel like that's sort of where we're sitting.
Yeah. You got Hall at 7 then?
No, I have him high. I thought you had Skelly high. No, I had Nico at 7. Nico Williams.
Forest. Yeah. Wow, I didn't put Nico Williams on my list there.
This is someone that I feel like him and.
Wow, I wonder who I have that you don't have. Oh, I feel like about.
Oh no, we might have. Oh no, we don't have different lists.
There'll be one more.
There's another one I had high because Forest top clean sheets. I chucked him and Skelly sort of in there around the top sort of 5, and I just dropped down as it went on. I had to give some of the older players a bit of a propping up, but Nico Williams always been that like the young talent or the FIFA like young prospect, but he's finally showing it on the big stage. I think he was awesome versus City. The game versus City, he's shut down like one-on-one defense. Is not like top tier, but I think it's improved like heavy. And obviously he's known for his attacking output. He whips balls into the box, gets forward, but I think his defense has improved big time. So that's why I got him at 7 because if he keeps working on that and keeps getting that good, that's a real well-rounded sort of like Patrice Evra type. It does everything very, very well type left back. So got him at 7.
Yeah, so I got Miles Lewis-Kelly at 7. Yeah. So look, I wanted to put him higher, but
he could be higher as well.
He could be. I just think I probably waited like a little bit more, like a bit longer period of
career. Yeah.
Because he's only really been he's only really played half the year. Like But no, that being said, like I guess the fact that he's playing in like one of Thomas Tuchel's first England teams,
that's wild.
Is a credit to what he's doing. Look, he's obviously got a lot to work on in terms of like disciplinary issues, and he's got to he has to cut that out a little bit, right? Like, he can't be getting red cards like every 4 or 5 games. But yeah, no, he's like, I think Calafiore still definitely has a prominent role in this team. I think the other guys not so much that I mentioned before, but I think Calafiore will have a prominent role. At the moment, it seems to be if like Arteta's prioritising like a defensive makeup, you know, like I'm a bit more solid defensively than Skelly's in the team, which I think is valid. But then I think we've obviously seen that like Calafiore does have very elite attacking like prowess, right? You know, he scored a banger against City as well.
Worldie,
You know, that was genuinely a worldie. Like when he scored that, I think it was like one of the first games of the season.
Yeah.
It was his first game of the season, I think. It was like, oh my God, who is this guy we've got? Like, this is the year, you know, the hope of the year was at like an all-time high when that goal went in. It was, that was unbelievable. So, yeah, I think Skelly will continue kicking up the ranks. We'll just have to see how much he plays.
Is there an option for a little 3-back at Arsenal? Calafiore left centre back, left wing back being Skelly, right wing back being Saka, and then
I don't know, because I think if we were to do that, Ben White would be the more prominent third centre back option.
Yeah, rather than Calafiore.
I think he's the most stable of like our fullbacks who can play that. And I just don't see Arteta playing a 3-back.
Yeah, I know, it'd go back to the start again. You have to it'd be rejig.
But yeah, no, look, like I think the ambition and the goal for the club is to ultimately end up like City anyway, where
play a million.
Where you just have like 2 amazing squads.
Yeah.
You know, we're obviously far away from that, but like, well, defensively we're not.
Well, defensively, you think you'd fine. If you have a healthy midfield, you probably got it.
Yeah.
But it's just like,
we probably need like 3 or 4 forwards to get to that
to
level,
match
right?
that.
But yeah, I can see him playing at least half the games going forward, at least, right? So that'd be an interesting watch.
Champions League, you don't play enough games. 6-eyed Robertson. Like, this is the guy who probably end up climbing because he's had a tough season. Like 9 clean sheets. Other than that, though, no other real stats on his stat sheet really stand out. Age is getting him. The legs are going. A bit of Casemiro gear. Leave the game again for the game leaves you type beat. Like, do you reckon it could be his last year? Like, I feel like he either gets phased out like a bench player next year, or I can they just sell him come.
Yeah, my only thing is I just don't think Tsimikas is like.
Yeah,
has like kicked on to take his spot, right? In terms of like, he's shown bits over the years, but of all the like positions in Liverpool's team, you would have thought I would have said that left back was like probably the most vulnerable for the taking, right?
Yeah,
maybe aside from striker, but yeah, I don't know. I just think like, yeah, I mean, I think if they're gonna move him on, they're going to have to replace him. I don't think Tsimikas is the one who can like step in.
It's not the same feel, is it?
Yeah, no, it's not. But yeah, no, it's an interesting watch. Like, I've got him a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was one of the best, but I think he's been so far off it since.
It's been a couple of years, to be honest.
Yeah, it's been for like 2 years now.
He hasn't really had the attacking output for like, it almost feels like 3 years.
The leg, the pace up and down the flanks just not there. So, 6.
I have Kukurea at 6.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Feel like, he was one of those players who obviously went to Chelsea on like a massive money signing and then kind of got lost under like the new regime and everything and never really saw his best. But then I feel like this year he's come back into his own.
Yeah.
He's done some big jobs. Pretty sure Saka cooked him bad. I think he got put in his bum twice.
Yeah, I feel like
I think both the goals I can see it were his fault. But look, you know, it happens. Saka does that. But no, overall Kukurea, I think, you know, not too complicated. I think he's just come into his own this year and been an important part for Chelsea's team.
Yeah, I'll back that in. Not quite, I've gone a little bit higher. I got Hall at 5. Maybe it's just because they just won the Carabao Cup, but I think he's been fabulous. 9 clean sheets, 4.5 ball recoveries, 2.5 tackles. Like, all the stats are up from last year. Plays a lot more than last year and has phased out. Like, was it Dan Burn that ended up playing there last year? I don't know what they were doing last year.
Yeah, Dan Burn was playing there. It was a crazy backline.
They've finally sorted it out where they're actually playing fullbacks at fullback, and I think this is another one that Chelsea, I think, have bottled. The long list of Chelsea graduates end up getting sold everywhere else. But I think he's this proper, complete left back. And I know Kukurea was signed for the money, but you could argue that they're both pretty handy what they do. Maybe not the output for Lewis Hall, but defensively, so solid. Newcastle have refound that defensive identity, so that's why I've got him at 5.
maybe this. I think this is going to be the difference. I have Calafiori at 5. You don't have
Calafiori,
nah. Yeah, I think like Lewis Skelly coming in and playing so well, it's just like really overshadowed like Calafiori as like the player he was signed as, and I think, to be honest, what he's done for us. Like, you know, don't get me wrong, he can be a little bit shaky defensively, but I don't think he's been exposed that much. You know, I think of like the Jared Bowen goal, which unfortunately was a massive goal in the title race, but you know, it's about Bowen. Like, I forget who gets to the byline, but you know, you maybe think, oh, can he do more to cut that off? But I think that was a Gabriel fault, to be honest. I think Calafiori's main issue is he just gets like driven to the byline a little bit too much. You know, like more than you'd want. Yeah. But that being said, I still think when he signed as like a borderline like top 3 left back in the league. Like that was the feeling idea associated with him. And then due to injuries and like Lewis Skelly coming in, he's had less minutes than he probably would have hoped for. But that being said, I think he scored a couple banger goals when needed. Yeah, you know, and I think he offers us something different on that left hand side. So I think his season's gone a little bit under the radar in terms of like what he's done, just because of the emergence of Miles Lewis Skelly. So yeah, like if I was going to pick a left back for an Arsenal game tomorrow, it would be, for me, like solely dependent upon who we're versing. Yeah. If we're versing Madrid, funnily enough, it's probably a credit to Lewis Skelly. I probably want him. Yeah. Just because I have a little bit more faith in him defensively. But I think for most Prem games, I'd take Calafiori.
He's better on the ball.
Yeah, look, and we said like Miles Lewis Skelly scored a couple banger goals now, but I think he's better on the ball, and he puts in some good crosses, and he's pretty versatile, you know, on the sort of edge of the box. Like, you know, whether he's going to go left or go right.
Right, left, yeah.
I think that's very dangerous in a fullback. So, look, I think he's got under the radar. I think he deserves a bit of credit.
Yeah, no, that's valid. You've made a solid argument there. I went Cucurella 4th. This is sort of just, I guess, keeping in line with the world left backs list. We had him like 10 because I think, again, I'm big on the Euros tax, and like if you do it at the Euros and then normally it sort of continues onto the season, it's a decent year, 5 goals, 3 assists. I think Euros are, for me, just like shot me. I thought Grimaldo would be a lock for Spain. Didn't even get a shout. Cucurella played every game. Shithouse or not was fantastic. This year,
I like you thought about the Euros, to be honest.
Like, Arsenal, you said about Saka. The Tottenham game is already a bit of a stinker, but outside of that, we haven't had that.
Oh my god, yeah, the Tottenham game
like 3 times.
Yeah,
but you haven't had that. Like, I feel like for Cucurella, that was like every month last year. Yeah, we sort of had 2 or 3 of them this year, and considering how much of a live wire, but it can be incredible or zero. There's no real in between with him. We've had a little bit more of a consistent sort of 70% effort this year, which I think for him is a credit to him. He's improved his consistency. Yep. And for left backs and right backs, that's like the ultimate aim. Be consistent. Don't give us 2s and 10s. Strikers, you can have that, but for left backs, it has to be 7, 8s literally every game, and I think he's got better at that. So he's 4 for me.
My 4, I don't know if it's maybe a bit rogue. I don't know if you have him, but I have Milos Kerkez.
I do, but a little bit higher.
Yeah. Okay, I was getting a bit worried there. I was like,
no. I got it's a Bournemouth boy. I got back my
Kerkez has had I think
that could be Liverpool signing. I think.
Yeah. I mean, maybe haircut tax a little bit, you know, like.
I'll tell you what, there's probably negative tax on that. Those trims are like,
but it's almost like so bad that it's good. Like,
embrace
where's he from?
Hungary. It's a very Hungarian haircut.
It's quite like Eastern European.
Yeah. You walk past him on the street like.
They don't have like taper fades.
No, it's just a raw knife.
But no, Kerkez is probably one of those players who's definitely had a breakout year. You know, like he does it both sides of the pitch, and I guess it's just been like pretty crucial to what Bournemouth have done this year. So I don't think it's too complicated. Great season from him.
Yeah, I got the stats here: 7 clean sheets, 4.6 ball recoveries, 1.5 tackles a game, 5 assists, 2 goals. His goals are like ridiculous. His goal catalogue, I know it's only 2 goals, but it's just outstanding this year. That goal at Newcastle for me is still one of my favourites. He said ran the whole length of the pitch to score. He's got that tempo. And that's why I'm like, he's probably the perfect Liverpool signing because he's the Andy Robertson, but even more explosive. because when Andy Robertson was his peak, it was up and down. That's what Kirkers does, but Kirkers is rapid up that flank. And again, another Euros tax. I know Hungary didn't go deep, but he was fantastic for Hungary. So Kirkers is 3 for me.
My third, I had Robbo third still.
Just back in the history.
And the fact that like they're clearing the league.
Yeah,
like
you got to give that.
And to be fair to Liverpool, it's like it's on the back of a solid defensive team, right?
It's not right,
which has not been the case. It's not been the like vibe around Liverpool for
at least that they won it last
for like 10 years almost. Like it's the narrative around Liverpool's always been like borderline. Are we going to score more goals than you, right? And we're going to have we have an amazing centre back who's going to an amazing goalkeeper who's going to like save us here and there.
Yeah.
But the other 9 players on the pitch is all about like how many goals can we score?
Yeah.
So to be fair to Robbo, although I think he's lost his attacking output, and I think it's just like he'll just keep falling down these sort of lists. Yeah. Liverpool being first, and winning the league in the manner they're going to win it, and him, I don't know how many games he started, but it'd be 80%. I would have thought.
I think he's played 26 Prem games, which is basically.
That's pretty much every game.
And I don't think he would have not started any of those games. Yeah. So
I feel like he started probably 85%, 90% of games. So he's been pivotal to that team. So and obviously what he's done, like the longevity as well. So
Champo and all that stuff.
I'm gonna
I can back that. All right, top 2. I have Robinson too.
Yeah, I have Robinson too
cool.
as well.
We agree on that. Yeah, Robinson probably he's went from being the banker as the like underrated player to like being the rated left back.
Yeah.
And I think similar
it's
to...
funny how that happens.
It's fucked. Because
they must have heard us talk about him, and then all of a sudden everyone...
You can go 2 ways. You can be underrated to overrated or underrated to like top 3.
Yeah.
And he's gone the right way. And I feel like it's similar to Villa, that their backline, I think I've said it either on this one or the midweek, but I've been pretty upset with the back 5 for Fulham. Because you got Anderson, Bassi, all these guys, you think, that's going to be a top 3, top 5 Premier League defence. There's some really good players there. But they haven't really kicked on. Anderson in particular, a lot of money signed. Didn't really do much.
Anderson's the one that's definitely been disappointing. Like moves from like when you move sideways like that.
That's what we'll say. You have to.
It's sort of like you need to be like when you move sideways at like a club level. You sort of need to like be the elevating factor for that new club, right? And he just hasn't done that.
Yeah.
So it was a very interesting move, but. Yeah, like
it makes Robertson stand out. I feel like.
Exactly.
He's the only one that's been good. Like Castagna, Bassi.
Well, he just does a job on like
or everyone.
Yeah, and he's good going forward.
Yes, I was going to say 10 assists this year. Like that's
so 10 assists. Wow,
10 Prem assists.
Yeah,
I think like that sort of says it all. Like we talk about how he won, like he shuts down Salah every single time without a doubt. 10 assists. Yeah. Their one strength is probably that side with him and Iwobi and all that stuff. It's just like it's a common trend, and I think number 2's well, that number 1, the big
obviously means we have Zinchenko.
That's the one.
Yeah. No, but obviously Vardy was at number 1.
Yeah.
I think as you said before we started, like number 1 and 2 like probably do clear the rest. It's a little bit of almost a toss up, but look, Vardy, like in spite of how bad or inconsistent City have been this year, I feel like he's always the one where like when you watch them play, it's just like he shows something every game.
Yeah.
And along we talk about goal catalogues with Kirker, it's like whenever Vardy scores,
the belt.
It's like the best goal I've ever seen.
Or the clutchest goal ever. Like last year was crazy.
It is bizarre. Like whenever he scores, it's either clutch or nuts.
Yeah.
Or both.
Yeah, but
like it's like a clutch, insane goal. Yeah. Like, so and when you consistently do that, it just takes out the luck factor of that. So just
you are that player.
You just are that guy. So, like he's definitely in that City team, one of like the shining sort of stars who's going to take this club into the new era. It sort of almost has like could be like a captain vibe for that club. I know Rodri's young, so I feel like he's probably the one to take the armband.
Vardy now 24, 25?
Yeah, I was going to say 23, 24, probably 25 now, but he just does it every week, attacking and defensive, and came as a big money signing, like another big money. What is he? Don't say
23.
26. Yeah, okay. I thought he might have still been 23. Yeah, it's mental.
It's at the World Cup. He was 21 or 20 years old.
I know, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous how young he was when he started putting out those performances.
Yeah.
And the beard he had as well was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Like, I don't think
the aesthetic.
Yeah,
mask, beard.
I don't think
Croatia
the mask too. I don't think anyone could think he's 21 with like that sort of facial hair going.
That's
like,
crazy. Some like Rashid Khan area, something like.
Yeah, I go to 27, 28, sure. Yeah. But no, borderline speaks for himself. I don't know if you have anything to add, but I feel like does it both ends of the pitch.
Yeah, all rounded. To that point, since the World Cup, has there been anyone? Okay, DeMarco, I think for me is the best left back in the world. But outside of DeMarco, during that period of time, you could probably argue he's the guy outside. I think number 2 clearly. Yeah. Like considering how young he is and he was amazing in the World Cup. Everyone's like, oh, what a find. But it's a classic thing of like, again, you can go two ways. So it'd be what a find to what a fall off.
Yeah.
You know, like a Murray Goethe type area where it's like they never amount to anything. But he's like I said, probably gonna be captain. Gonna be at City for the next 10 years.
Well, yeah, like that's sort of it feels like it's got that written all over. You know, like they'll just pay him whatever he wants, and like yes, he's not going to leave City to go to Saudi because he'll just get paid essentially the same as City anyway.
Same amount, So
like, yeah, he's just one of those players which you look at that City team and feel like he's locked in.
Yeah.
Where you can't really say that about a lot of them now, to be honest. Like,
no, not anymore.
Like I look at that City team and I think, okay, Vidal will be there, Roger will be there. They've got a lot of young attacking options now who are going to rotate through there. But defensively, it's like,
who's going to be there though?
Yeah, like if Edison's going to go and the centre backs they're kicking on, and so it's a bit of a change in era, but changing of the guard. But he'll be top of his list. I feel like for many years to come.
Yeah. He'll be the number 1 very very soon.
Unless that brother Miles Lewis-Skelly just rockets up.
But Miles Lewis-Skelly is your traditional left back though, eh?
Yeah.
Shorter, quicker.
And so shithouse. It's unbelievable.
That's the thing. He gives Evra. Like if someone gives Evra, like
the shithouse is unbelievable.
That's still iconic. He gets yellow cards.
Something scares me about like Skelly though, like going to like a rival club on like a massive money transfer at like 26 years old.
Doing like an Ashley Cole.
Yeah, just gives me that vibe. Like I don't know, like Haaland, like he's supposed to be our guy, and someone will offer him
140 like, club and a couple.
Nah, more.
250
like,
mil.
They'll offer him like 250.
250 a week.
And I can just see him leaving and him shithousing us, and somehow it'll return back to us like as being the banter club. Like, it'll just somehow turn on us. But at the moment, I love it. We haven't really had a good shithouse since bloody Guendouzi left. Like he was. How major of a throwback is that? But seriously,
that was the dark times, man. That was the dark era. So
I shouldn't even mention those sort of names. Socrates and
Mustafi, mate. Locking him with Mustafi at the back.
But like Guendouzi was major shithouse. We've kind of lost it a little bit.
You need to find that identity.
But that was one of the best things I'd ever seen. When he did this, right? Or that was one of the best things I'd ever seen. So
the storyline.
I should have bumped him up for that alone.
Just a shithouse, yeah.
Nah. Left back stock's finally getting a bit better in the Prem because Jesus Christ.
It's been rough the last few years.
It's been terrible.
And even Vardy was a centre back, has become a left back. If you really want to argue it.
He's only been here, 2 years as well? Yeah. Right?
Well, Skelly's going to have to fight the fight. Who else is going to have to fight the fight?
Well, Calafiori's new to the league. Kirkez is on this list now.
Because Andy Robinson's going. I think Nico Williams for me probably dropped out.
Anthony Robinson was probably 7 or 8 last year. Now he's kicking up the ranks.
Yeah. So finally they're getting...
This list sucked. That's what I was talking before, Digne and Dallo and all these Purvis Estupinan, mate. These guys are top 5.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's shocking. I don't know if the right back stocks are the same, but
it's just Trent still is just, and he's at league of his
own. But Jesus Christ,
the midfield. It's a midfielder's league. Let's go with that. Let's have a quick chat in between here. Actually, first let's talk about Spurs and Ange. I thought he would have been sacked by now, to be honest, if they're going to get rid of him. Do you reckon he's going to last the year? Or will he be in the touchline come match day 1 next year? Because you lose to Fulham 2-0. Wasn't great last weekend.
So they still have Europa League, eh?
They're still in that.
Look, I think a lot does rest on that. So what stage are they in that? Round of
quarterfinals now.
Yeah. If they lose the quarters, then
It's problems.
I feel like they need to sort of make the final.
So they beat AZ.
That'd be terrible if Spurs break their trophy drought. But then I also want Ange to be successful. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. They got Frankfurt, who.
I think it would have been a win-win for me as an Arsenal fan and as an Australian if he got sacked in the middle of the injury crisis.
Yeah, so you got to feel bad for him.
Because it would have been like, oh, mate, like they're just, typical Spurs. Didn't get given the opportunity.
Yeah.
But now he's coming to the back end of that.
And everyone's fit.
I was just about to say that. Like,
I looked at their team versus Fulham was pretty nuts.
The injury tax thing is like a little bit like, he's kind of like over-leveraging it now. Because...
Now, you can't claim it now.
Because... Their team against Fulham was really good. Like
they had,
I'm pretty sure Romero started. So Vicario started.
Vicario, Spence, Romero, Davies still.
Madison was on the bench. That's when you know, like, that's when you know
Son
that it's kind of not work. Like you can't use that. You cannot use that as an excuse anymore. When Madison's on the bench because there was all that huff and puff about when Madison was coming back, like. He's going to save this team. And he's not even starting.
The bench is nuts. It's like Van der Ven, Kinski, Saar.
Van der Ven was on the bench.
Van der Ven, Kinski, Saar, Poro, Scarlett, Odebear, Bergvall, Madison, Son.
Well, I mean...
Which I'm not going to put against Andrew because I think Son and Madison... but mate, Son's been really poor this year.
Mate, like 3 of those players start for our team. And that's our whole bench.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of our squad... Like all of those players get into our squad borderline. Like, like at the moment.
Yeah.
Like that's the level we're talking here in terms of like that. Yeah, the injury excuse thing is just that's just not a thing anymore, right? So I know it's cooked the season, but I think more so like the way it shifts the narrative is that everyone's available now. Yeah. Go and win the Europa League. Right? So
if he doesn't, he goes.
I think once you get to the final, it's okay for Spurs. I think it'll be once you get to the final, like stuff can happen in finals. Yeah, as long as they don't get slapped up like 5-0, like Unai when Unai lost to
badly
whatever it was 4-1. I forgot who the manager was at Chelsea at the time.
Chelsea was Sarri.
Might have been Sarri. Yeah. He was smoking darts. Yeah. But yeah, like as long as that doesn't happen, where it was an embarrassment, then I think Ange might be okay. But that being said, I think you want to find form across all competitions now for the rest of the year. So you want to make like a weird late push for European spots,
like a 9th or something like that. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't sneeze.
When I look at Ange though, it went from. This is the best way, especially with Prem clubs, to rate a manager, is how much fan support, which is bad, but these days that's the way it works, how much fan support they have. Ange went from being the beloved, like, chosen one.
I feel like I have a great counter to this.
What's that?
Well, like Arteta.
Yeah, true.
Like Arteta, for all the... he has set the landscape for every manager now who goes to a big club.
Yeah.
Yeah, to give him time. Not saying like they all get time, but it's in every single like fan base now who's in the supporter camp of a manager. Just point at Arteta, be like, prime example. I know we haven't won anything yet, but okay.
But the club's like all from
we went from like absolute shambles, like the club's gonna get like, sold and the club's fucked to like 3 seconds in a row, like solid in Champions League at the moment. Yeah. It's night and whatever Arsenal fan wants to tell you, but they're all deluded. It's night and day between where we were and where we are now. So that is, I feel like the prime example of like back a manager, give him a bit of money. Trust the process thing, right? So, like just, I know a lot of the fans hate him.
It's getting ugly, eh?
It is. But I think it's also because, like, there's like this weird relationship Ange has with Spurs and the fans where it's like, I think he almost, he's so funny in the media. For him, it's almost like he's doing it for the greater good of Spurs. You can't see it now, but you'll thank me later. It's sort of the vibes I get from Ange.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like, mate, like, give it a rest, mate. Like, that's kind of the vibe I get from him. I don't know if you see what I'm saying, but in terms of like, he cops from the fans and gives it back.
Yeah, no,
and when he's in the media, he's like, it's all about this greater good vibe. Like I will take you to the promised land sort
just
of thing.
Sit with me and
you can hate me.
Yeah.
But you love me, right?
Yeah.
You can hate me, but you will love me. It's sort of the vibe I get from Ange, which I kind of respect. But when the pressure's on Levy, I don't think
Levy's quick to flick a switch.
I don't think he gives a shit. When the pressure starts going to Levy to sell the club,
bang.
See you later, Ange, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's surprising how long he's lasted, to be honest.
I thought a few times he'd be gone. I thought after the Flynn game he was gone. I'll be honest with you. I was waiting that morning to react to that.
I think now that he's come out of this injury crisis and they're in the Europa League still, I think he'll get to the end of the year. I think they could lose every other Prem game for the rest of the year. And as they're still progressing in Europa, I think he sticks around, right? Levy must have learned from the Mourinho thing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, still one of the most bizarre things ever. Sacking Mourinho on the eve. That was obviously a falling out, right?
Yeah, but the cup final,
it's bizarre.
Just bite your tongue for a couple of days and let it play
bizarre.
Out.
Like one of the worst decisions by like an executive at a club ever. But
and who they got to replace? I know it was short notice, but Ryan Mason on the
touchline. What the fuck is Mason selling?
It's like, this guy's still playing FIFA. I thought I was selling FIFA a couple of years back. Like that's sort of the level we
like. Yeah, Ryan Mason looks like he could have gone on like fucking Love Island.
Yeah. What are you doing with Pep on the touchline? I know. Like you look at Pep, you look at Ryan Mason, and you're like, oh fuck, like you know what I mean? Like there's.
He looks like a reality TV star. Like, he doesn't look like a fucking coach.
That's the thing.
No one respected Ryan Mason, man. Like,
how long? I don't think he was even there for that long. It was like a couple of games,
I think it was maybe 8 weeks.
That's wild. He was there for 8 weeks.
Yeah,
that gives me hope I could potentially manage a club one day. Ryan Mason can. But they've had great managers. The thing though, I'm worried that they've always had great managers. Jose Mourinho falling out. Conte, he crashed out in that interview. Postecoglou, as much as I think it's sort of tongue in cheek the way he plays in the media and stuff like that, he's got to be frustrated with the consistent like barrage.
Oh yeah,
like you can tell it's just like it must just kill him every week. The same questions about
100%
fitness and your style of football and attack to defense. I'd just be like, I wouldn't want to do a press conference.
Nah, the Prem is ferocious. Like the Premier League media is ferocious.
And then the fans on top of that, I'd be like, fuck it, any more of this, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's the worry.
I think Spurs fans are so fucking ungrateful though. Like just know your place.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like it's
you gotta know that you haven't won anything anyway.
Yeah, like know your place, man. Like you're not like you're lucky to even be considered a Big Six club for some reason. Like what what is that?
Who decided that?
Yeah, or you had a couple good years, like when Leicester won the league. Like that was like you had a couple good years with Pochettino.
Yeah,
and it was like all of a sudden you're like this big club, and like mate, that's not your vibe. Like know your place. No, genuinely, I think these fans are like very ungrateful, to be honest, because I would have thought the first people rushing to his defense with that injury crisis they had would be the fans. Yeah. Surely, you know. You're on all your social media platforms making a case saying we do not have anyone in our starting 11.
Yeah, no one's.
I don't care what happens on the pitch now. Like, because how can you expect any results when that happens? I mean, but clearly it's not. It feels the other way around. Everyone else is cutting him slack.
Yeah, but
the fans are in his case. But yeah, I don't know. Spurs do my head in,
and that's my point as well. And again, I don't always want to drag it back to United, but. We won a trophy last year. Yeah. I think we've accepted we're shit. So all I hear is back this manager, back it, and like it's gotten like really ugly. We haven't won back-to-back Premier League games since like.
Are you talking about with Amorim or with Ten Hag as well, borderline?
I was always back in Ten Hag, but I can see now. At least I can definitely see a plan with Amorim, right?
Yeah,
like you can see it.
That was always my thing.
But and I think it's a valuable point. That's where the fans sort of went away from Ten Hag a little bit. But no matter what manager it is, the fans always seem to back the manager in, which is ridiculous considering we've actually won, like we're the second closest team to winning a trophy in England. So Newcastle won a couple of days ago, but we were the last team to win a trophy in Premier League. We went to a Carabao Cup final, won that. We had 2 FA Cup finals, but we finished nowhere in the Prem, right? And there's Spurs who've been nowhere near it. They're trying to do a rebuild, and yet they're bagging the manager.
I never thought about this, but really random side note, but it's just like really clocked in my head that like Ten Hag was a tournament manager.
Yeah, he's one of the
like. Through the lack of identity and the ability and the game plan seemingly being like to adapt based upon who you're versing.
Yeah. That's
like
tournament
that is
football.
literally tournament football.
Yeah. This is back to my thing about, like, that's why I say, there's
bizarre.
winning managers,
Yeah.
and there's great or good managers, and Ten Hag's just a winning manager. Like, he just will win games. They find a way. We beat Barcelona with 2 legs.
Yeah.
With some of the Lewandowski, De Jong and stuff, but you can't beat Leicester on an away day, match day.
Yeah,
10.
and it even like goes back to like a lot of his like reputation coming into United was that Ajax Champions League run, right?
They went all the way towards
Champions League run.
Yeah,
like what once again another major tournament run. You know, so like that's just around. I don't know.
I never thought of it like that, but
I just kind of clocked that like in terms of like that. That's looking back at it. That was Ten Hag.
Yeah,
you know, like
just win cup games.
Because I always banged on about his lack of identity.
Yeah,
but in having a lack of identity, you don't get caught up in like games where you get done on the counter because you're always a possession. You know, our identity is possession.
Yeah,
we're gonna go to the Bernabeu.
And
play possession and we're gonna get done on the counter. Like you know that doesn't happen with Ten Hag because he's willing to adapt and maybe put his ego aside a little bit in that sense. But yeah, random side note, it just kind of relates to the point about at least in this case, going back to Ange.
He has a fucking clear identity.
At least I am definitely in the camp of backing an identity until like it's 100% like
cooked.
100% you can say for sure this is cooked.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can say that with Spurs.
No.
Because when it was working, it worked well. And then when he lost all the parts of the puzzle, then it obviously didn't work. But like I still think you need to back him a little bit longer. Is the camp? Do I think he starts next year? I think, as I said to start with, depends on how they go in the Europa League. If they make the final and they don't get spanked, I think he starts. Your
caveat just to get there and do a shift in the final.
Just be competitive, right?
Yeah.
If you lose, you lose. Like the fans can live with that, the club can live with that. But
do you reckon if it was a United Spurs final, they'd expect to win that? Like it changed it all changed the whole.
Wow, United Spurs final would be elite.
I'd say families, the Twitter, the memes,
elite.
like mate, Arsenal, Chelsea,
like can both teams lose? Like that's the camp I'm in. But,
I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
But that would be probably one of the worst games of all time. But that would be elite. Wow.
If it's United, if Spurs get beaten to their trophy by Manchester United, would that then call it quits?
That is such a great question.
Like Ruben Amorim hasn't won back-to-back games.
Yeah, like it's like the caveat is almost like, don't lose to United.
But you can lose to anyone else.
You can lose to anyone else, be competitive, but do not lose to United.
That's what it feels like though.
Oh,
if you lose to United.
Yeah, no. I agree. I
reckon that'd be furious.
I just think the backlash would be too much.
It'd be crazy.
I think you'd go, yeah.
Because I'll tell you what.
It's an interesting one to see pan out for the rest of the season.
Because United fans would be out in force if we win a cup this year. It'd be ridiculous. Quickly, we have a few minutes to chat about the race for Europe. I don't know if you've seen this. Apparently 11 teams can qualify for Europe next year in the Prem. If Villa win Champo...
11... Game's gone. Game's so gone.
If United or Spurs win Europa League, which is looking like it could happen.
So 5 champs?
The 5 champs.
4 Europa, 3 conference.
No, it won't be 5. Actually, it might be 6 champs. Because 5 teams plus the Europa League winners, which would be United or Spurs. There's 6. Newcastle won the EFL Cup, but if they finish in the Europa League spot, then it goes down someone else. And the Conference League needs to be won by Chelsea.
How many? Yeah, right.
So then you get more. So it ends up being...
you get like 6, 3 and 2.
Yes.
Yeah, wow.
Which could be ridiculous.
Wow, so Spurs and United actually are fighting for like Europe still.
Yeah. Which, can you imagine Spurs United in Champions League next season? Ridiculous.
Game's so gone if a bottom half team makes Europe. Like,
13th place.
Don't get me wrong. I think on a European scale, bottom half teams can be like a bottom half Prem team should win the Conference League. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't sound right. Like we are getting so close to this bloody Super League, man.
What is now, man? It is.
Like when Perez that was a funny time to be alive. But
what a week, eh?
Yeah, that was a funny 48 hours.
Yeah, but wasn't it? Yeah, but what a day.
I love when the clubs came out and took a stance. So
Fogged out in the streets of the camera.
So cramps, mate. And I love that Perez just backed it too. Didn't give a shit.
But no one can stop him. He's untouchable.
That Madrid is such a soulless club. Saw, you see Asensio's celebration? And that was at the start of like a little compilation I had on Instagram.
Ramos.
It's like Asensio, Ramos.
Yeah.
And the comment sections are like Iker Casillas crying. And what is really sad, Ronaldo gets shipped off. Like Bale didn't really have a send off. Like
that's another probably great off-season chat. But I don't know if the Ronaldo thing was Ronaldo or the club.
Yeah,
because he'd signed, I'm pretty sure, to continue. Like he was supposed to keep going. Like the contract had him continue. I'm pretty sure.
And they just shipped him off.
But then I'm saying, did he want to get shipped? Was he done? Did he say, "Oh, we've won now. I'm fucking off"? That's so weird. Everyone had a send off. Marcelo, Ramos, Casillas, all of them. They all had that send off.
Yeah.
But Bale and Ronaldo.
Yeah.
But Bale, I think, was more because of the way it ended.
Yeah, the Bale thing was weird, but
Ronaldo,
I don't know with Ronaldo. I always was under the impression it was like a thanks, see you later.
Yeah, just off you trot.
I am Florentino Perez. Like,
bro's football mafia, man.
He's legit the dictator. Right?
He literally is. It's wild. But who do you read? I'll read out the league table, and you just tell me, I guess, where you think they're going to end up. Because
I'll need to get it up to see games.
Because I tell you what, it's fucking tight at the top. Like, it's ridiculous. I made the video about it. The league season might not be great, but if you're here for a neutral standpoint, looking at the top sort of 3 to 10.
Wow. So even... I'm not even trying to be a shit stir here.
Yeah.
But I would say between 3rd and 12th is currently where, like... Because obviously Palace have that game in hand.
Oh, they do as well.
So...
They do as well.
Assuming they win that, the gap is 4 points between you and 12th, right? So
okay, I know.
Like, let's just say Palace win that game, or even get a result. Like the gap is still 3 or 4 points. But then it is United and Spurs, and like if anyone's going to make runs out of them, like they could put 4 or 5 wins together on the trot. Like,
but even then, it's still so far. It
is, but you'd imagine if they're putting win streaks together, they're beating those guys above them.
Yeah, probably.
Right? Because there's not many teams below them they can beat. So like,
what's it?
So they have to be beating people above them, but.
I'll be saying top 3. So top 3 is lock, I reckon. That order, I reckon that gets finished. That's how it ends up.
I'm not locked on Forest.
You reckon Chelsea can still get him? 9 games, 5 points.
I think City can get him. Yeah. No, like...
Really?
Yeah, like, well... Okay, if anyone can put a run together, City can put a run together.
But Forest goes that badly.
Their next 9 games. If they win their next 9 games, Forest... like City finish 3rd. I don't care what happens to Forest.
So you think Forest drop 2 more games?
Forest will drop enough points if City win their next 9 games.
Okay.
So if anyone's going to make... If I don't think it's Chelsea, though. I think it's City.
But Chelsea just stay 4th.
If anyone, takes Forest out.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea could slip. If Newcastle win, Chelsea go 5th.
Yeah.
Take a game here.
Yeah.
I think if it's top... So I think the top 6, though, will be the current top 6.
Okay, so that stays as it is.
Is my... prediction.
So who is 6th? Who misses Champions League in inverted brackets if it all stays as it is? Who do you reckon is that team to bounce out? I'm thinking Chelsea.
I think Chelsea.
Yeah.
I think that now that Newcastle have won that trophy,
confidence up.
Yeah, quite a bit of weight off the shoulders. Yeah. The club. I think it's going to be quite free flowing. It's like going to be like good vibes at the club.
Yeah.
I think. I would say Chelsea miss out.
Chelsea 6th.
Yep.
I'm going to keep Brighton 7th. I'm going to back that. I think they're in great time. I think they've lost in over 7 games.
I'm sorry. I just can't make a case for you guys at all. I just can't make a case.
No. I'm being genuinely serious.
Yeah,
I'm counting from 10 up. I'm not including Brentford, Palace, Arsenal, Tottenham.
I can't.
Because we're going to have like 2-day breaks as well from
I can't make a case at all for you guys. I think you only make Europe if you win the Europa League.
Europa League, yeah.
From 7th and 8th.
Do you reckon Brighton and Fulham stay where they are?
Look, it obviously depends on fixtures. So I haven't really looked at fixtures.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Bournemouth can get a little bounce back. I don't know who they have. Like
Bournemouth, Ipswich, West Ham. Yeah, they've got some easy ones.
Ipswich at home. Like, you want to get a bounce back fixture.
Yeah.
Like, well, let's say they put away Ipswich. All of a sudden,
they're back in
it. Equal points with Brighton. Right?
They've got games versus Fulham and Palace and all them coming up as well. So it's going to be like really important, those games.
Yeah, Brighton have Villa. Like they're all versing each other, you know what I mean? Like so.
But Villa have Champion, that's the thing. I reckon they're going to be so focused.
I'm going to back Bournemouth in to make a late run. And
How far?
And get 7th.
Wow.
I'm going to back them to...
all the way to 7th.
Yeah, I'm going to back...
Okay.
Well, I know it sounds like a lot, but it's just 3 points, right? You know what I mean? Like, as in...
Oh, yeah, so I'm just looking at... Like, I know Brighton haven't lost in ages. I know Bournemouth haven't won in ages.
That's just the way the league is. Yeah, I'm going to back in Bournemouth. And I'm going to say they get 7th.
Yep.
And then I'm going to say it just goes... I'm just going to say it goes Brighton, Fulham, Villa.
Okay. So Villa go. I think Villa go to 10th.
Yeah, like, I think United could finish as high as like 11th.
Like, even then, 4 points is a lot to make up.
I don't think they're getting top 10.
No, I would not say either.
Yeah, and then relegation's done.
It's done all over. 9 points with 9 to go.
Not the bottom three again. Not the top three.
That's definitely a conversation we're having for the off season when we have all 4 of us here all together. Well, I've been queuing that up for a long, long time because you brought it up, and we'll have to bring up your point of the whole like 4 up, 4 down sort of chat as well, or extending the league.
Extending the league, or like you got to input. They have to implement something
to fix it.
Yeah. Should we smash that?
We'll smash out the finalists. Last 10 minutes. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Brighton, Fulham, Villa, and Bournemouth, you can separate them with a fucking toothpick. I guess it'd be super tight. Yeah. Last minutes. Let's do our breakout team of the year, team of the season, if you want to call it. I'll go my key. So we've got 4-3-3, yeah?
Yeah. Classic.
I'll go start with the back 4 and the keeps. I went Matt Sells. I think we both have him because this is the only keeper that's not established, basically.
I think Matt Sells is old, but
who else?
But he's still had the breakout year.
There's no Kelleher vibe this year. There's none of that. So I think Sells is there. I might as well Skelly left back. I went Maxine Lacroix centre back from Palace. I think he's had a Superbia. I'm gonna go Kusnov centre back from City. I know he's only played a little bit, but I've been really, really impressed with him. I think he'll be someone alongside Vardy they'll build around come the future. And then Jed Spence. This is the revival, I guess, the second breakout, because he was nuts at Forest, made the big move, then got loaned back to Championship, and he's come back and done a great job. And Poirier's on the bench. Poirier's just second best right now, so Jed Spence in for me.
So obviously I have Matt Sells as well, as I said. I was hoping you put Kirkes in because I've got Miles or Skelly. I wanted Kirkes to get a bit of credit, but Skelly's obviously been the breakout guy, one. Yeah,
he's probably the face.
You don't get more breakout than
this is the face of the team, I feel like,
Huijsen. I think that speaks for itself. Kanate, maybe a little bit of an interesting breakout one, but I just think, touching that Liverpool defence, he has gone to that next level to, from in and out with Matip and, even Joe Gomez and stuff. He has gone to that next level to, I guess, be a pivotal part of why Liverpool winning the league. Mm-hmm. And I've got Jed Spence as well. The revival, I guess, as you said.
There's some bankers in this one. Okay, midfield 3. I know we have the 2 here the same, I think. So Gravenberch for me. Yeah. I went with the Ayari, the forgotten about player at Brighton, considering Belieber is going to get all the attention. But he's been fantastic in the double pivot.
Just on that really quick, how much attention does Belieber get?
It's ridiculous.
Every time he's on the park.
I'm about to say commentators.
Every time. Next to 100 mil signing. Oh my God.
We got it the first week.
It's I'm still waiting for him to do something. No. Belieber's good.
No, he's good, but
I'm taking the piss. Belieber's obviously very good.
But to your point though, he's not Caicedo at Brighton though, I think.
Or even Basuma.
Obviously, These guys were head and shoulders, I feel like.
I know,
maybe
or McAllister.
Yeah. I think McAllister's been better at Liverpool than he was at Brighton. I don't think he was actually that amazing at Brighton.
I think he's been better at Liverpool, but I personally, I used to watch a lot of McAllister because I used to have him in FPL. So I used to always watch them play, and I thought McAllister was elite at Brighton.
Yeah,
but I think Belieber's good, but
they're talking like he is.
It is a bit ridiculous. Every time he gets on the pitch, it's 100 mil signing. He's the next one, and hey, relax, Haven't seen any transfer rumours with this guy, at all. I
think people are too scared to take a punt on him.
Yeah, relax.
Because of how Caicedo took a year and a half.
Yeah, it's taken them all so long.
It's just do we want to? Yeah, I think he might have another year next year, and maybe that could be their year.
Yeah.
And then I got Kluivert as my number 10 because 10 goals, I think, 7 assists, I think it was.
Yeah, I think Kluivert has to be in this list.
Another face of the league.
You have 2 hat tricks.
And he's got the only penalty hat trick, and he's got the only
Is it all 3?
Yes. Yeah, one of those perfect hat tricks as well.
Yeah, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah.
Header,
left foot, right foot, and he's got a full penalty hat trick as well, which is crazy. What a year for that.
So I have Gravenberch and Kluivert as well. Yeah. I think they speak for themselves.
They're
and
crazy.
Then in a quite attacking team, I have Morgan Rogers in my midfield as well.
The proper full breakout season that we can say.
Yeah. Has showed glimpses.
This is the year.
But never really put together 90 minutes on the pitch. Wasn't really getting that. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, I think he's fallen off a little bit as the season's gone on. He's become less influential, but that's Villa. But his start of the year was that was breakout. Wow, this guy Morgan Rogers getting picked for the England squad. Mm-hmm. And, he was, scoring clutch goals and stuff like that. So I think that's a valid shout.
I'm definitely a banker for him. Yeah, my front three, I think it's gonna be a little bit different. I want Iliman and Dye on the left.
I have a rogue front three. One of them's not even in the Prem anymore.
Really going into the bag. I want Iliman and Dye left wing, which I don't even know if it's breakout for Prem fans. I don't think many people would have known him in France, but I think he's been fantastic for Everton. Before Moyes, he was their only attacking talent. Strand Larson striker, and then Ethan Manieri right wing. Again,
okay. Yeah,
these Arsenal players are the faces of this breakout 11. I feel like they're nuts.
Yeah, so I have Manieri as well.
Yeah,
obviously. My only issue with this is that why are we still unearthing players? I thought it was supposed to be
the guys now,
all 27-year-olds now winning the league and shit. This is the problem. We keep unearthing these kids.
The average age is 22 years old, man. It's nuts.
No. This is my other post that on social media.
Yeah,
the average. All I want to hear, the average age is 22 years old, and send that to AFTV because I fucking hate AFTV.
They think they're ready.
Man, I fucking hate them all. They're so annoying.
I'm back in the Arsenal corner. You got more players I'm liking these days. Manieri in the light.
Manieri, speaks for himself. I'm a Diallo on the left wing. Yeah, so maybe a little bit rogue.
Just chuck him out there.
But when he's hasn't unfortunately played enough, and to be fair, if he plays every game next year and repeats what he's doing this year, that's probably his breakout season, right? Because I know he came to the club and had a high expectation.
Yeah.
I don't think he was sighted for about 2 years.
Loaned away to Sunderland, all that stuff.
Yeah, didn't see him for about 3 years. When he played under Amarin, start the new sort of regime, mate, he was insane for about 3 games. So I don't know if that's a breakout season, but he's in my list. I'm going early.
Yeah. No, the hat-trick was cold against Southampton. I know Southampton, that was a crazy hat-trick.
And then my striker is none other than Al Nassr's finest, John Durant.
But you could argue he is the breakout striker of the year. He was nuts.
Is there more breakout than going from bench warmer,
Champions League hero,
to signing for $250K a week
to play with Ronaldo?
I don't think you get more breakout than that.
He's broken out.
Although he's not in the league anymore, he almost epitomises what a breakout season is.
Yeah, literally.
Big money signing.
He's just broken out way too fast. It's 2 years into one.
Yeah, mate, 10 years. You're supposed to go to Saudi in 10 years, not now. But anyway, that's
got his bag.
Breakout manager.
Ooh.
Question without notice.
You know what? I'm gonna be boring. I'm gonna go Fabian Herzler from Brighton.
Okay.
Same pally tags. Jackson Irvine came across, done his job.
I'm gonna do another revival. I'm gonna go Nuno.
Oh, you know what? That is the breakout.
Actually, you could do Slot as well.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
No. Nuno was people knew who Nuno was. If it was revival, I'm gonna go Slot. I feel like
his thing with Slot is it not just Ten Hag tax that everyone thought he was gonna be another Ten Hag from the Dutch league flop.
Who did he even coach?
Feyenoord won it. I'm pretty sure that he won 2 trophies.
Yeah. Oh, come on! But Feyenoord is the third club you think of in the Eredivisie. You know what I mean? You think of Ajax, PSV,
and
then I would say Feyenoord. Yeah. So it's look.
Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah. He's done stuff.
He's come to the league, and he's pissing in.
He's bossed it.
With
a team that we thought was washed.
I actually think everyone in general should give Liverpool more credit because they're literally going to win the league and piss it in.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe a lot of it's to do with the fact that Arsenal has been underwhelming and City have been underwhelming. But look,
that's another chat for next episode.
That's about as breakout as you had. Come to a new league.
Come
from the Eredivisie and win the Prem in your first season after a 10-year regime. Mental.
Klopp was a problem, eh?
I guess. No, I know.
Let's just drop on that bombshell.
Klopp was the problem.
There we go. Klopp was the problem. That's your message from this episode. Thanks for coming on. Good episode. We're back again. Hopefully, Tots will be here next time.
Yeah, we'll see. Because
I love hearing.
Can work from home.
I love hearing the differences in the list as we go along the card.
He would have had
He would have Rashford on there,
Lenny Arroyo, what the hell his name is. Lenny, what's his last name?
Euro.
I want to say Lauro.
Mason Mount breakout as well.
Yeah, Mason Mount. Maybe
Chaylings.
What are the Italian players in the league? Calafiori would have been in there.
Banco.
Jorginho.
You can expect more of that.
And then some rogue shouts. Mason Greenwood. He would have been in there. Mason Greenwood would have been in there.
Again. You can expect more of that if he comes on next episode.
I'm keen to have him back. It's been a long time.
I need to get all three of us.
Long time.
Three of us it's been a problem. But we'll do that. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. 5-star level podcast. Podcast midweek when Nathan's coming out, but a quieter week. We've got shit on. So be 2 podcast apps, and then when the footy comes back
Let's
again.
get to 2K.
We're punching there. We're slowly. It's a bit of a...
Yeah.
One of these
let's
ones.
get to...
Let's go for the start of next season.
Yeah, let's get 2K
End of the season.
by end of the season. I'm predicting a breakout.
All right, little 500.
We're going to get 2K end of season. And then start of next season, the first 3 weeks, the pre-season.
Oh, we'll go crazy.
Into like the first 2 game weeks. So when everything goes off, we're going to go 2K to 10K. Bang.
And then it's
players under the moon, lad.
And then we're getting paid to go to the World Cup.
Yeah. Well, because suddenly I'm having to look at my bank account.
Yeah, no, my bank account's not looking
Pay money, what's going on?
It's not looking good, bro.
Where's that sports bet promotion?
It's not looking good, bro.
I got to start doing more multis.
So winning more multi, that's the thing.
I just got to start talking about it. I got to have a segment every week. Like
Flynn's picks. Flynn's parlay.
Fantasy. Flynn's freaky fantasy. Well, I know that was meant to be like, that wasn't meant to sound. Flynn's
Fix it. Fantastic.
Getting Flynn's fix.
Flynn's fix.
Getting your fix.
Getting your fix of the weekend. Getting your fix.
Nah, Flynn's parlays like that.
Flynn's parlays.
Yeah.
And we stick with that.
If sports bet don't pay for it, then I'll just win them and we'll pay for the trip itself.
Anyway, we'll win the money ourselves. Win 10 grand ourselves.
Oh, we're off one.
Well, yeah, we'll also see you guys same sort of time on Monday. Thanks for sticking with us. Again, it'll be quieter the next few weeks, or this week and next week, because no football. But once the Prem and all that's back, we'll get back into the swing of things. We'll see you guys later.